So this episode of the Mando was, I don't know, I'd say it's all right. I mean, it's watchable. I liked a lot of it, but the ending, which I'll get to at to this review, just ugh. But I mean, the good thing is there's no woke shit in here or any of that crap. So we start off at the last episode where Mando is trying to get back to Tatooine here and go find this other Mando guy. And these people are trying to, I'm guessing these are bounty hunters or something. They're trying to set up a trap here to get the baby. So he flies into the ambush, which, I mean, talk about Looney Tunes. This reminded me of the Roadrunner bit where he's always setting up these traps. Well, his speeder flies right into this thing, and you could see it here. It tumbles, and Baby Yoda flies off, and he barely lands here, and they're shooting him already, and he gets in this big fight with them, and he takes these two guys out, and then this last guy here on the right, which I don't know, some sort of Jawa guy or whatever, he gets in a standoff with him, and then Mando wins, and makes it back to Mos Eisley here, and this lady's telling him, the mechanic, that this bug thing on the right knows where a Mando is, but he'll only tell him if he throws money in on the bet here. So she wins the bet, of course, and then the bug guy tells him that the at the spaceport you'll meet the person that's going to tell you what's going on here, where the Mando is and all this. So here's the person, and the deal is that she'll go with him to this planet, or if he takes her to this planet, because her species is dying, and a bunch of fluffer material here. So he agrees, and he says, "Can you vouch for her?" She goes, "Oh yeah, I know her, and she knows there's Mandos there, and she'll help you." And so Baby Yoda this episode is just he's just a little shit. I mean, this poor frog lady, these are the last of her species, and he's just eating them like apples off a tree or something. And Mando's like, "Hey, you can't be doing this crap. This is the last of their species here. You need to stop being such a little prick and all this." And so they're on their way to this planet, and they can't use hyperdrive because I don't know, it kills the fish lady's babies or something. I don't know. They don't really say like what. She can't use hyperdrive, so he's just going there, like down the highway, and here we have these same two Republic guys from the other episode at the space jail or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, can you show us your license and spaceship insurance and all this? You got a tail light out or something?" I mean, that's what it made me think of. So he just tries to BS them, and then they hear the fish lady talk, and then they go on this other channel, and they're like, "There's something up with this guy and all this." So Mendo tries to lose them, and he flies down into here, what looks like Elam, and it's just a big space chase for a little bit, and he crash lands underneath here, and those two TIE fighter guys disappear. So they're in the ship, and this fish lady just won't give she won't give the Mando guy a minute's apiece. She's like, "Hey, we can't be sitting here screwing around and all this. I understand these space cops were hassling you and all this." And she hooks up that droid on the left there so she can translate to him what she's saying so he can understand her. So she's telling him, "Oh, I thought you Mando were honorable guys, and you're gonna kill my species off and all this, and you need to help me." And He's like, okay, alright. So he gets out there and, he starts repairing the ship and everything. And then Baby Yoda is like trying to get his attention. And, he's like, hey, this lady took off. I don't know what she's doing here, but she just took off. So this this episode is this fish lady here. She's like, I don't know why, but she just goes on her own and decides to take a bath in this little lake with her eggs or something. And, you know, I don't know if Mando doesn't feed Baby Yoda or what, but this kid is always starving, man. I mean, it's like he's an Ethiopian or something. It's like he can never have enough food. I don't know why he needs so much food for something that's that small. So here we go again. He wanders off, and we see all these eggs here, and he's like, "Oh, what's this?" And so he goes up to one of them, and he opens it up, and he starts, hometown buffet here eating away. So the next thing you notice is all these spiders come out of there, and then the next thing you see is this queen come out, and I mean this I really loved this whole scene here. I mean, this action and everything was just awesome. They're just running for their lives, and he's just, I mean, talk about shooting gallery here, man. I mean, he's just exterminating these things left and right, and they're running for their lives, and this frog is flying around, and so they make it back to the ship, and they get pinned at the cockpit, and he bottlenecks them, and he just barbecues the hell out of them, man. It's really kick-ass, man. I mean, he just totally fries all of them, man. And it's just a spider barbecue. And then he seals the door up with that shit, like he solders it or whatever. And so they go to take off, and I guess I don't know if this is the same one or another one, but the king or the queen here jumps down on the ship. She won't let him leave. So here we have these two guys that were hassling him, the space cops at the beginning, and they just shoot the hell out of this spider and all these other ones, and they just completely finish off what he didn't kill. So he has a convo with them, and this guy's like, oh, we just came back because we wanted to tell you that you're not under arrest and that you need to put your beacon on, jerk off, and we're not going to arrest you. So we just wanted to come down here and kill a bunch of spiders for no reason. And even though we should arrest you, we're not going to arrest you. But we felt we had to come back here and tell you this. And I mean, I don't know who's writing this stuff, okay? Because this was just, I don't know. It was really, it would have been a lot better if the Mando had shook the spider off and just flew out of there, or if he took off with the spider even on the ship and just got it into space, and then the spider died from being in space and just floated away. I think that would have that would have been a more satisfying ending here. But this thing with these two fatty donut cop guys wandering around with their New Republic thing, and I mean, I never seen a more useless scene in my life. It's just stupid. They actually come back to tell him this. I'm not kidding you. This is in the episode. They come back and they're like, "Hey, you got 3 warrants and you freed these guys and did all this good stuff, but there's a warrant out for you." And the Mendo's like, "Hey, why don't you help me out here? You said I turned in these 3 guys instead of collecting the bounty. Why don't you help me down here?" And they're just total jerk-offs. They're like, "Oh, why don't you put your beacon back so we don't have to blow your ship out of the sky? And maybe we'll come back then and also tell you you're not arrested. Just to let you know." It's just, I don't know. It was very stupid. This whole scene This should not have been a scene. Like I said, it should have been the spider drops down on that ship, and then he just basically takes off with it because it can't get in there. And then he just makes it to space with the spider on the back. And then when it gets in space, it just suffocates and freezes and falls off and dies and floats away. I mean, this whole scene is just. Ugh. So, anyways, he patches the ship up and they're stuck here in the cockpit. And this is the end of the episode. I mean, we don't even see them make it to the planet. I don't know what they were thinking here. This is total screw up. I don't know. I liked the action on here. I liked watching him blow up all of those spiders. I mean, I could watch that for hours. That was just pure awesome, man. I mean, when he torches them in the cockpit thing in there, when he had them bottlenecked, that was just unreal, man. I mean, it was just pure awesome. That's the thing. I really love this show, but it's like they do stupid stuff on here. I don't know what they're thinking or. Ugh. And the other thing is, all the SJWs and Twitter nutsos are upset that Baby Yoda is eating the fish lady's eggs. I mean, I know I have too much time on my hands, but when if I was to go on Twitter and complain about Baby Yoda eating fish lady's eggs, please shoot me. I'm not kidding you. Like, just come and kill me, because if that's what your life is, I mean, my God. So, anyways, that's the ending. This is the last scene. You don't see anything else. You see the ship, like, limping along, and that's it. So we don't even know if he made it to the planet. I guess we're going to find out next week, but, I mean, this scene and the scene before with the two cops and we just came to tell you we're not arresting you was just, I don't know. I'd say it's a watchable episode. I mean, the best part of this entire episode is him fighting those spiders. Like, I wish they could have prolonged that or just had him in a stalemate and figuring out how to get out of here. Having those two Republic cops come back was the most stupidest thing. Ugh. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to think of except for, oh, I forgot. Pedro Pascal here, the guy that plays this, for some reason, and I keep seeing tons of video and stuff about this. So, look, before I say this, I don't really care who you vote for either way, but this guy came out and made a big rant about he hates people that voted for Trump and was calling them Nazis, and I don't think anybody on either side should be called anything. I don't want to get political with this crap, but I want this political crap out of Star Wars. Okay? We don't need this crap. We had 3 shitty movies that were god awful, and we have a decent show here that could maybe salvage something, and this stupid idiot that plays the Mando has to go run his mouth and do this. I don't want people to not watch the Mando. I want people to watch the Mando so the show keeps going and it gets better. And the other thing is, like, I'm seeing a lot of hate for Mando. I mean, I'll admit, okay, it's not a perfect show. The first episode I thought was awesome, but when I listen to other people's reviews, I can understand what their issues are. Like, for instance, where we left off on season 1, people were saying, well, why didn't they start off showing what happened to Moff Gideon and with the Darksaber and all that? And hey, I have no argument to that. My view is this is an enjoyable show with no woke garbage. We should be so grateful that they have not filled this show with woke garbage. I mean, the minute they put woke garbage in here, this show is toast. And I'm really grateful that I have a show I can watch where I'm not being told that or lectured to about some stupid political garbage that has nothing to do with Star Wars. Keep your effing politics out of Star Wars, people. It's as simple as that. So we'll see how the next episode goes. But so far, the first two episodes in, my only real complaint with the show is minor things like, you know, those cops coming back and just telling him they're not arresting him, and then on the first one, that whole thing with the Boba Fett guy, the fake Boba Fett, is. I mean, I still don't know how I feel about it. I really like Timothy Olyphant. That guy is awesome. I really wish they had cast him as the Mando, to be honest with you. But we got what we got. So, anyways, that's it. I'll see you next time.